So the Joe Biden interview was yesterday. We're a forward-looking show. So we thought, well, let's have a conversation about how Biden did and what it means for the future. And I thought, I'm not really sure how to do that. Is there a peace-loving, understanding role model we could look to say, what's a way to have a civil, unifying conversation about, here's the role model we found. This is 103, please.
Today, right. Did you tell her that?
You think he's ever told a lie?
I don't think he tells many lies.
Cognitive decline, I can tell you that much.
I don't think he tells many lies. I don't think he's done.
Come on.
Wait. No, you know why you don't get to laugh like that? Because you support a guy who lies every freaking day and lies continuously. You support a guy who cannot acknowledge that he lost the 2020 election and that lies about it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's in Jake
Thank you.
Have you read it? Have you read it?
Guys, we got to go. Thank you very much.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Guys, we got to go. We'll be right back. I would say very tempted to go with that model, except that show's ratings aren't very good. So apparently that's not a winning formula. Sean, what are your takeaways for the Biden's appearance? We're on for almost the full hour. And although I normally try not to ask two-part questions, if you were a Biden staffer, would you have looked at yesterday's performance as a win or a loss or no effect?
Well, I would just say it goes back. You actually brought it up yesterday, so I'll say that you made a very unique point. That Jill Biden announced apparently there's a book in the works where she quote spills the tea. So I think Jill Biden should have spoken more because that's who apparently is selling the book. But that was not. I mean, I think this was a horrible week between Kamala Harris at the Met Gallery, Timmy giving his comments at Harvard, and Joe Biden reminding us about his mental decline. What a horrible week for the top of the ticket there.
Yeah. Dan, again, if you were a Biden staffer, the Bidens are not the most metric-oriented political family I know. They're more about poetry than metrics. But if you were a Biden staffer and the Biden said, I want to know, what did we achieve yesterday? What are the metrics of success that we achieved? And you wanted to, give them the best you could give them. What would you say they achieved yesterday?
I mean, I have a lot of snarky answers. They put themselves back in the conversation. So if that was your goal, you're being talked about all over. Unfortunately, it's in the negative. I guess you put some new thoughts about why you did certain things on the table. Look, it was delusional and defiant. It was terrible. And the problem looking forward is every Democrat in Congress 2028 is going to now be asked about two things again. What did you know and when did you know it? And do you think the president was mentally fit to, be in office and run for re-election and relitigate his presidency rather than talking about the future? Because he is defiant and wants to convince you once again why he was great and why he would have won if he stayed in the election.
The greatest thing to happen to Joe Biden yesterday was the conclave announcing Pope Leo. Yeah. I mean, honest to God, as I said yesterday, it stepped on some fantastic news from from President Trump, not just on the UK deal, but on the air traffic control announcement that was huge. But Biden has got to thank Pope Leo for making sure that no one continued to talk about that interview.
I look forward to their next interview. I'll say that.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.